Welcome back to the One Shot Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Vincent.
And I'm Johnny.
Today, we're going over why Mutant Mayhem is Seth Rogen's best film as a producer.
On the show, we break down movies and rate them on four different scales: acting, plot, rewatchability, and overall rating.
To stay in touch with us, please follow our socials Instagram at One Shot Movie Podcast Official, Facebook and TikTok at One Shot Movie Podcast, Twitter and Letterboxd at One Shot Movie Pod.
Yep. So this is obviously Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. It was released August 2nd of 2023 with a runtime of 1 hour and 40 minutes with a sci-fi slash comedy genre. And it is rated PG.
I enjoyed how short it was.
Yeah, me too. I,
And
I was waiting for it to um be more, but I was like, I didn't really need it. Like it was all summed up really well. I
oh,
thought it was
yeah,
gonna be even shorter than it was, and then it was like that last third act, and it
I
was really,
think
really good.
I think movies need to start getting back to kind of going under 2 hours. Um, Number one, if as long as the plot allows it, like as
Hmm.
long as you can fit everything in and it's not like crammed or too fast paced or anything like that. Um, but I think movies need to start going down to like back down to like an hour and 40 minutes. And I know we always talk
Really?
about Marvel, but like in the beginning, those movies were like an hour and a half long each. You know, like I'm pretty sure the first Iron Man was like an hour
2 hours
and
and
a
six
half.
minutes.
The first Iron Man?
Yeah, 2:06.
Are you serious? I
Yeah.
swear to God, a lot of them were short. Was
Mm,
was was the Avengers short? 2 hours and 23 minutes. Oh shit. All right. Well,
yeah, pretty long.
fuck me, I guess.
So, so I have a question for you. For this movie, do you think, well, maybe not for this movie, but for these characters, do you consider them superheroes? Or like this is a superhero movie or more of just like a comic book movie?
Um,
I'm just
that's
curious what
tough
your
to
thoughts are.
say. I mean, technically yes, but also technically no.
Yeah.
Number one, because the mutagen kind of it doesn't give them powers, it just makes them look like human-ish.
Yeah.
But at the same time, so I'm gonna go with no.
Yeah,
Because
I'm in the same boat there.
technically they don't have powers. They
Hmm.
just they just look like like look and walk and talk like humans, you know,
Yeah.
because all their skills were learned from Splinter.
Yeah, exactly. From was it a Jackie Chan video tape?
No, Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee. There we
Yeah.
go. I was yeah, because Jackie Chan he plays Splinter, but we're
Yes.
gonna hop into that soon. So if
Yeah.
you want
So right now we're just gonna jump into the plot of the movie. After years of being sheltered from the human world, the Turtle Brothers set out to win the hearts of New Yorkers and be accepted as normal teenagers. Their new friend, April O'Neil, helps them take on mysterious crime syndicate, but they soon get in over their heads when an army of mutants is unleashed upon them.
I like that.
I mean, yeah, it sums it
It,
up pretty well.
I feel like the plot of this movie is pretty simple and they really stick to it. And I don't think there, I mean, there's a couple subplots to be honest, like April
But
wanting to
not
become
really.
a reporter. That one they kind of fulfilled that. That's good character development. Same thing with the brothers wanting to be accepted in New Yorker and New York and wanting to have their own lives as teenagers
But
and go to school.
that's always the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing.
Well, yeah.
They always just want to be treated like normal people.
Hmm.
That's always their shtick. Um,
Yeah.
Gonna be completely honest, didn't like April O'Neil in this.
You just don't like the actress who plays her. So I think that's a start.
Actually, I didn't know who played her until like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, so that explains why. That
No, but
explains why to me why you don't like her.
I didn't like her throughout the movie.
Really.
I thought she was annoying. I really did. I thought she was annoying. She was like, you know, she was like, "Oh my god, guys, we got to do this. Guys, we got to do that. Guys, we got to." It's like, "Bitch, we got our own shit going on. Like there's
Yeah.
20 other mutants here. Like we got shit to do other than help you get your fucking shit story, you know?"
See, I didn't mind her. I mean, I really like the the actress. So I think she's really good in a couple of projects that we're going to talk about. So I
Yeah,
may as
yeah,
well hop
yeah.
right into the cast. So if you want, I want to start us off.
Uh, first up, first up, we have Micah Abbey as Donatello. Um, we're just gonna run through the cast list like pretty quickly,
Hmm.
so you know.
Yeah. Next is Shamon Brown Jr. and he plays Michelangelo.
I honestly think he did a very good job. I didn't
Yeah,
really. I was very
one of
skeptical
my
about these
favorites.
children, but like
Yeah.
voicing these characters. Number
Hmm.
one, because they sounded so young.
Yeah, I
And I
know.
understand that
Definitely,
they're
definitely.
teenagers, but like they sounded way too young.
Little young. Yeah, I agree.
Um, Up next we have Nicholas Cantu. He actually voiced Gumball in The Amazing World of Gumball. If you guys watched that show growing up, I don't know if you did, John.
Yeah, yeah, I
I
did
actually
definitely.
never did. I never
Really?
was never a
No,
fan.
I wasn't like an avid watcher, but like I would watch it every now and then, and it was
Yeah,
pretty
no,
entertaining.
was
So,
never a fan. Just
no,
wasn't.
I like that show a lot. Pretty good. Up next we have Brady Noon as Raphael. I like the performance, and then if you don't mind, I'll take this next one as well because I have a couple
Oh
things I
yeah,
want to
that's
say.
fine. You know.
So Ao Debris, she plays April O'Neil. She's also in a bunch of projects that I've seen recently, and we've talked about on previous episodes. I've seen
Okay,
Bottoms,
she
which I
was in.
love.
Oh,
She's
she
in,
was in that.
and she was also in
The
The
Bear.
Bear, which I started watching, and I'm really getting into that. Not too
I
far into it, so
still.
we'll see how it
Oh,
goes.
the
Yeah,
Bear's
now
so
I'm
good,
only up to
dude.
like episode 6, I think, in season 1,
Oh
so
my
we'll get
god.
there. But
Um, I
yeah,
don't like her in the
really
Bear.
good.
She's annoying in the Bear too. Just her
I
character, the
know.
way she plays her character, it's
Hmm.
just annoying, man.
Yeah, I like her in this. I don't know. I know you said you had a couple gripes, but
Yeah.
I like her.
Up next we have Maya Rudolph as Cynthia uh, Utram. Utram.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't know.
the
I
bad
couldn't put that
person.
together.
Oh, I
Yeah,
immediately. You can tell when
I
it's.
didn't even think about it.
You can definitely tell when Maya Rudolph voices a character.
Maybe now going back and if I watched a couple like scenes, I would like, oh, this is the one
the
from Good
the the only
thing.
time I actually didn't know it was Maya Rudolph voicing a character was Connie in Big Mouth. I actually didn't know she voiced her.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
the female hormone monster, obviously.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I didn't
exactly.
know that.
That's funny. And up next, there's this guy who plays Rocksteady, but he has no picture on his IMDb, so I guess we could just skip over him. No,
I
I'm just
got
kidding.
you.
It's John Cena. He plays Rocksteady, one of the mutants, and he's he's not in a whole lot of it, but you can tell he's really
Even though
funny.
even though it is so late and we have to edit this for tomorrow, um, I'm going to when you say John Cena, I'm gonna put the WWE sound under it
That's
because I think
great.
it'll be hilarious. See, this is why I
Yeah,
wish I had a roadcaster. I would have set this shit up
I know,
before.
right?
Up next we have Seth Rogen as Bebop. Not a bad
Mm,
person to cast as
I
that
didn't love it.
character, but
I didn't love him in it, but it's okay. Um, there's so many here. Next is Rose Brine as Leatherhead. I can't put it together to be honest. So
what do you mean? Can't put it together. Like who she
like
played?
yeah,
Obviously, it was one of the mutants. I just don't know which. Um,
yeah.
but she's worked with Seth Rogen in a bunch of other films,
Hmm.
Neighbors 2, and I think
Well,
a
that
couple
yeah, I
others
know.
too.
Hmm.
Um, Up next, we have Natasha Demertrau as
Yeah.
Wingnut.
Up next is Giancarlo Esposito as Baxter
Yeah, your
Stockman. Only
guy,
has a limited role here.
your guy.
But yeah, I love Giancarlo Esposito and so many great projects that obviously everyone should know about. He's in Star Wars. He's
Well,
in
after
Breaking
watching,
Bad.
yeah, after watching Breaking Bad, like, he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Exactly. Yeah, he. I had to put him on Breaking Bad. He didn't. didn't watch Breaking Bad for the longest time.
Yeah.
So,
I just ended up watching it on my own time. You
oh
didn't put me
yeah,
on.
you binged the hell out of that.
Yeah,
So,
you literally we
hmm
started watching it at the same
I
time,
know.
and I finished
Yeah,
like 5 weeks before you. Oh, you
but
got a
I
visitor.
still never finished it.
Oh my god,
Yeah, I know. I
you
still
got
never
a
finished it.
visitor,
Yeah. I was watching Breaking Bad for about like 2 months, and then I just stopped. I didn't have the time to finish it.
dude.
There's so many shows that I'm doing
I
that with.
stopped
I never
watching
got to.
Suits because it was
Oh yeah,
just
me too.
it.
It's the same thing.
Well,
Same thing after
the
a while.
later seasons were just shit.
Well, I
Are
was
you
still
gonna
on
go
season
back and?
one.
Oh, okay.
I never even got to the
I
second
was gonna
season.
say I was gonna ask if I could
But
spoil
no,
it.
I want to get to it eventually. But
I
there's
mean,
just not
stop
enough time.
watching it after season 7 or 8, I think.
Yeah,
I think season
exactly.
7. At the end of season 7, just cut it off. Just
Yeah,
honestly, just don't watch anymore.
yeah.
Um, Up next we have Jackie Chan as Splinter. I love Jackie Chan in this. There were parts where he was a little like cringy, but at the same time, like there were parts where he was fucking hilarious. Like
Yeah, I
I
know.
think
I
he
really
played
like
this
this performance.
character so well. Like it was just fantastic. I love Jackie Chan as an actor. Um, Rush Hour 4, I think, has been confirmed, and I'm so excited. Or at least they're in the talks of it.
Hmm
Um, so I'm unbelievably excited for that because
Yeah,
Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker together are literally the dynamic duo.
I know. It's really great. Really, really great. Up next is one I couldn't put my finger on it until like 5 minutes in. I'm like,
Couldn't
because
put
I,
your
I haven't
finger
I
on it,
haven't I haven't seen him in anything in a little while. So I was thinking to myself like, oh, like who is this? Who is this? And then I'm
bro.
like, oh my fucking god, it's Ice Cube. It took
How
me a
the
second.
fuck could you not put your finger on it? Ice Cube has the one of the most distinct voices.
No, I know, but
That's like if Morgan Freeman voiced fucking Superfly.
I don't really watch a lot of things with him in it anyway. So I'm like, oh my god, like who is it?
That's
And
a
then
lie.
it took me
That's
a
a
few
lie.
minutes.
That's a lie because you definitely have watched 21 and 22 Jump Street.
Well, yeah, I've seen that, but it's been a while, is what I'm saying.
Uh,
So
uh,
I haven't
uh,
seen
uh.
anything in a while.
Dude, I
Anyway,
like you could tell immediately that it was Ice Cube. As soon as he first spoke, I
well,
was like,
yeah.
I had no idea he was in this movie. And then when he literally when he spoke for the first time, I was like, "Holy shit, that's fucking Ice Cube." Um, but yeah, I think Ice Cube did a great job in this.
Oh yeah,
I thought he was
definitely.
pretty funny, especially not knowing that he was in the movie.
Yeah, I didn't know
Um,
anybody going into this at all. So
I knew, well, we knew a couple people. I didn't know about Ice Cube though.
yeah, no, not a clue.
Um, Up next we have Paul Rudd as Mondo Gecko, which honestly, it was hard to tell it was Paul Rudd at times. He did a very
Yeah,
good job,
yeah, I
like
had
very good
not a
job.
clue, not a
Yeah.
clue at all. But this was really, really good performance from him
Oh
because
yeah, without a
uh,
doubt.
he's such a diverse actor. I feel like he could do a lot of roles, and this is just another example of that. And he did
Oh
really
yeah,
good. And the
he was
next person,
hilarious.
I couldn't even tell who this was, because this person is mainly just a singer or an artist. And Post Malone playing Ray Fillet,
I was gonna say
I
you have
had
to sing
no
it,
idea that it was Post
bro.
Malone, and
The fu-
his role was great. It was so funny.
I think the funniest parts though were like they're in the they're in the heat of the battle and like
Hmm
he's like swimming through the thing and he jumps out of the water and all you hear is Ray Filet and then he
Yeah.
just keeps going back. I think that was probably one of the funniest parts of the movie.
Oh, without doubt. Yeah.
Another good person up here next is Hannibal Buress, a comedian. He plays
Yeah.
Genghis Frog. Um, I honestly couldn't tell that
I
it
had
was
no
him.
idea. Yeah.
A lot of
No.
these people, it was hard to tell. Um,
Yeah.
there's one more person that I would like to mention
Yeah,
that
I'll
was
let you have that.
apparently in this movie. Mr.
I had
Beast
no
apparently
idea.
voiced one of the like I guess you could call it extras
Hmm
in Times Square during the whole fight.
Yeah. No, I had no idea whatsoever.
Yeah.
So
Um which I thought was pretty funny. Of
Oh
course,
yeah,
Mr. Beast is in this movie. Why wouldn't he be with all these
yeah, I know.
with all these other giant actors?
I just think it's amazing that even Mr. Beast gets in a freaking movie, which is
Yeah,
nuts to me. But you know, I'm not surprised
it's Mr.
to
Beast.
see it because of how cool it is.
Wow.
Um, but I don't know if you want to mention anybody else, but I feel like that's pretty
No,
good.
I think that's pretty much most of the cast. There's
Yeah,
really not much else to say.
dude,
I
I
don't.
don't know if I would really recast anybody. I feel like everybody did a pretty good job. I know you would probably recast O'Neill, but
Yeah, but the thing is also, and this is going back to what they're doing with Disney and um, the whole idea of um, making white characters black.
hmm
And I'm trying to say this in the most PC and most non-cancel culture way.
yeah,
Because even one little slip up and
yeah,
we're done.
I got you.
Um, but in every single other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle project, April
hmm
O'Neil is white.
Is she really?
Every every
I haven't
I'm
seen
pretty
any of the other
she's
projects in a long time, so I really have no
even in
idea.
the old one, even in the old ones, like the really old ones where they wore the costume, like,
Really?
yeah, she's white.
No, I have no idea.
She's white with red hair. That is her character. She's white
Okay.
with red hair. That is her thing. Yeah, almost like a Mary Jane type. She is
hmm
white with red hair. I understand
Really?
Megan
Oh wow.
Fox, Megan Fox, Megan
hmm
Fox. Um,
Gotcha.
but why are we doing this? Can
Yeah,
we
no,
can
I
we
had no
stop?
idea. No idea. So I just sometimes I don't understand it. Like
It
and now
doesn't
they're
make
trying to
sense.
change like a bunch of like classic storylines too, which I don't get.
Yeah,
Like
I
Snow
don't know,
White and like a bunch of the original Disney projects. They're trying to change the story, and like
bro.
if they're that old, like I just feel like
You
you gotta
know,
just like, let it
you,
be.
they're trying to change the How to Train Your Dragon live cast. They're trying to make
Why?
the main actress. She's white with blonde hair and blue
hmm
eyes, and they cast a I think it was like a light skin, like a mixed race girl with curly like brown
hmm
black hair, and it's like, what are you doing? Number one, people have been coming out on TikTok and saying, you know, they they just weren't around at that time. You know,
Oh, jeez.
people were saying that. People
Uh-huh.
like were coming out like they were Vikings. Vikings are, mainly white. You
hmm
know, um, but I heard we won. We won one thing. We won um Snow White.
What's that?
We got Snow White
Oh,
back.
did they? Okay. I
Apparently.
had no idea.
Apparently she has
Oh.
been fired. Rachel Zegler has been fired from the Snow White project.
Oh. Oh, I didn't even know it was Rachel
I heard
Zegler.
this
So
I heard this a while ago. I mean, we can look it up just to clarify, but
hmm.
I'm pretty sure,
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
as a matter of fact, there are a number of
Yeah.
reports going viral that Zegler was fired from her role. Yep.
It's not so much about the actresses themselves, it's just the fact that they like to change the story. That's
Oh,
because like and then again it changes the entire story for a
apparently
lot of
4
these.
days
So
ago she came there was a YouTube thing saying she's furious with Disney over.
I understand it. I get both sides, you know what I mean? Like
But at the
I
same
understand they're trying to
time,
be
you're
more diverse, but like when you change a classic story, it kind of kills the vibe of how these fans interact with these
yeah,
movies.
dude,
So
just keep the
that's all.
movie the fucking same. Just make it live
Yeah,
action.
yeah, exactly.
It
But
doesn't make any
let's keep
sense.
moving forward here. Um, So what's new in movies? What's new in theaters coming soon? We have the Marvels coming up November 10th. I don't know what to think about it. I've heard some good things, but it's also a
I'm not
Captain
going to
Marvel
see it.
film.
This is the only movie I'm not going to see in theaters. It's not happening.
I'm not gonna go
I'm
see it
not
in
doing it.
theaters either. I haven't seen a lot in theaters recently, but I'm still gonna watch it, and I'll
No,
write
but
my
like
review on my letterbox. So
Marvel movies were like the thing we would do. Me, my dad,
yeah,
my sister, Um, I'm not going to see this one. I'm sorry. I
my
will wait.
expectations are
I
low,
will I will
but
wait until, you know,
a week
I
later
don't
when
even
it's on
care. I don't even care.
online.
Not even a week later. I don't even
Yeah.
care. I'll watch it that day. I'm just not going to theaters. Sorry.
hmm
I'm not spending my money on this gonna be shit film. And I
Yeah.
know it's gonna
No.
be shit
I'm
because of
hoping I'm
the
hoping for
main
something
three
at least
actors.
decent.
Because of the
Oh, that's
main
just
three actors.
because the TV show with what's her name? It
Could
was
not watch it. It
so
was
so
unwatchable.
bad.
It was
I watched the whole
unwatchable.
thing because I watch all Marvel projects, but like it
I do
was
too, but I
so
could
dumbed
not watch
down.
that. I could
Yeah,
not watch that.
it was so dumbed down and childish, and there was a lot of potential with it. I feel like it was just like another one of those like rom-com teenage films, kind of like To All the Balls, not balls. Oh my God, To All the Boys I've Loved Before, like a movie like that.
Right.
Even like what's that show that everyone's talking about now? I can't think of it. Oh,
Uh-huh. That
it's
show.
one of those kinds of TV shows, and it's exactly like that. I can't think of the name now, but I'll think of it probably in an
Don't
hour
know
or two
what you're
later.
talking about.
Um, yeah, I know.
You're not
Uh,
explaining it well either.
I've tried.
Um, yeah, but sorry, it's not gonna happen. I'm not going to see it. It's just
Yeah,
it's out of the question.
I know,
Um,
but I
Another
don't know.
one coming to theaters is Killers of the Flower Moon. What the
hmm
fuck
This is gonna be a really, really good movie.
is
I'm
it?
actually very excited to see this. And the movie I was thinking of, or sorry, not movie, the project is The Summer I Turned Pretty. Um, I'm sure you probably don't know what it is, but it's a TV show. It's
No.
exactly like one of those kind of teenage rom-coms, and they're just all the same. They're enjoyable. I've watched a couple of them, and they're actually pretty good. But like, it's just all the same kind, and this is exactly what what's her name show was, and I
Right.
just simply didn't enjoy it. But Killers of the Flower Moon coming out October 20th. I'm so excited for it. Leonardo DiCaprio, um, and this
I
is
was
from what I
Yeah,
believe. Um, what's his
Leo,
name's
De
last
Niro,
movie?
Brandon Fraser, Jesse
Yeah,
Plemons, and it's Scorsese.
yeah. I think this is, if not his last movie, the one before his last movie. So I'm really
Right.
excited to see it. It's got a good cast too. Jesse Plemons, Robert De Niro,
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser, like really good cast, and the story seems
Um,
pretty interesting. So we'll see.
yeah.
And it's an
Another one that I
Apple
s-
movie, by the way.
Oh, really?
It's an Apple original. Yeah.
Um, Another one that I saw, fuck, what was it called? Um, his his I think his daughter gets not kidnapped. Something happens. I think his daughter dies, and he just goes on a fucking rampage. I think it's called Noelle or something. It's a Christmas movie. I saw the trailer. It looks fucking insane. Or no, is it called? No, it's not Silent Night. It's another one of those.
Was it like a Christmas spoof movie or something?
No, it's not a spoof. It's like it looks intense.
Like horror
Um,
movie type?
Christmas action movie coming out 2023. Is it Silent Night? Yeah, it is. Okay, it is Silent Night.
No.
It's called Silent Night. Joel Kinnaman, he plays Rick Flag. And Scott Mashuti,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, Watch the trailer for this, John. It's it looks fucking it looks so good.
Oh, I think I have seen this. Not
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
it, but I've seen the from the creators of John Wick. So that's pretty interesting.
yeah.
I'm
It
I'll
looks
definitely. think of watching that soon. So
It
when it
looks
comes out.
phenomenal. Director and their experience. We're not going to jump into the real experience. But the director was Jeff Rowe. Producer was Seth Rogen, obviously. Um,
Yeah, and that's one of our main topics here. So Seth
yeah.
Rogen obviously produced this film, and he's produced and directed a lot of other projects. But I feel like this is one of his best projects that he's been from behind the
One
camera.
of
Yeah, I mean, I think really the only other contender is 40-Year-Old Virgin.
you're gonna you're gonna get a lot of hate for that comment because people will come at you with Pineapple Express, Super Bad,
Yeah,
all
well, I mean,
those.
Superbad's really great too, but like I think this is one
Superbad's
of the better
fucking
ones.
fantastic.
Yeah, well,
Superbad's actually based on like a real event that happened to Seth Rogen,
yeah,
which is
yeah,
I think is hilarious.
I know. To an
Um,
extent, I mean,
well,
Superbad's
yeah,
still fucked
obviously.
up, but like Superbad is one of the greatest,
Oh yeah,
most enjoyable films that you could ever watch. But I feel like this one, it's totally different because it's animated. His
right, and
only
it's and
one of his
it's
other
it's a
animated
kids
projects
movie.
is, yeah, exactly. But I feel like Seth Rogen, in terms of animated films, he made Sausage Party, and that was good for the one-time watch when we were like 15, and that was it came out in I think 2009, and
Yeah.
now it's just like the movie is dog shit.
I thought it was even gonna be funnier when I first watched it when I was like 15, 16 years old. I think
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
when it
sorry,
came out.
Sausage Party came out in 2016. I lied. Wow.
Oh
So we were
wow.
16 then. So
Yeah.
that's why we thought it was funny. Um, but no, it really is not very good.
Yeah, it really wasn't that
Um,
great.
but I don't know. There's something about this movie that has like a lot of potential for me, and I feel like it was like really enjoyable. I'm not saying it's great by any means, but like I liked it. So
The reason you like this is because of the visual effects, which we're gonna get into now. Um,
yeah, I was a big
John
fan. Big
John
fan.
talks about the visual effects a lot on this. And he says, what did you say? You said what?
I feel like this is one of those kind of films that like not reinvigorated uh visual effects the way that Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse did.
No,
I
no.
feel like
Don't steal what I said to you before.
what did I say before then?
You literally said that you love the animation style of this, and then
Yeah, no, I did.
and then I
Well, no,
said, but it's just like Spider-Man into
yeah,
the Spider-Verse, comic
yeah, I don't.
booky, and
I the thing is, it's comic booky, but I don't think it's that similar. I feel like there's a lot of things that are pretty original in it in terms of
I think
animation
it's
style.
I think it's pretty freaking simple.
I don't know. Maybe it's this. There's no like real comic book aspects to it. I feel like there's no
But
like
there is.
whips coming up or like stuff like that, like
Yeah, but
popping up on screen. No
that
like quote boxes. I know that's more Spider-Man-y, but
that's
like
different. I'm saying more so along the lines of the actual the visuals of it where it's grainy and
mhm.
it's comic
Well, you can
booky
see it's
and
really
it's
sketchy and stuff like that. Like the
right.
first scene you see is these big guys sitting in the van, and their face masks are all drawn the same way. You could see it on their
Yeah,
chin straps that they're all have the same like three marks like around
copy
their chins.
paste.
It's like on all of them, and it looks really great. But I just
Right.
don't get the same vibe I did from Spider-Man. Maybe because it's really into the comic book thing, but I just feel like this was another really well done comic book animation style
Yeah.
movie.
Don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed the animation aspect of this,
Yeah,
but I think it kind of really I think it really copied Spider-Man in that way.
yeah, but like it then again, it's another comic book film. I don't think they copied enough of it to make me say, oh, they can't do this because it's copying Spider-Man. I feel like it's pretty original in their own right.
Eh.
But
Like the
I,
characters like all pretty much like to me like a lot of the characters look the same, especially comic booky. More I gotta say though, more like they were more defined. That's the only thing I can say is that some of the characters were more defined. And
like
I
more
think
detail, I
that's
mean?
the bit yeah. Like like the turtles. Obviously they were more defined and
Yeah.
like you could see more of it. And I think that's the only thing that's different. Another thing that I have to say about visual effects that I didn't like, why the fuck were all like the bad guys' faces already like mangled? Like it
Maybe
looked
that
like
was
they
just the
already
bad guy
took a
style they're
beating.
going for.
Like it looked like
I
they
don't know.
literally already took a beating before they got there.
Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty odd, but like I don't know. I really did like the animation style of the turtles themselves. Like it keeps it like simple in terms of their like costumes or their
Like
like
John,
their shells.
throw
But
this up on
like
screen. Like they're
mhm.
fucking their faces are fucked up.
What, all these villains or the turtles?
Yeah, all these guys. I put it in the
Oh,
doc. Look at this. Like they're
let
all
me
their
see.
faces are fucked up.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That is pretty weird. I guess they're
Yeah.
just like trying to show like that these guys are like some bad
I guess
bad
bad. Yeah,
dudes,
just bad.
you know. But
Um
I get it. But like it's I think it's just another way to be creative, and
yeah,
like I kind of like the aspect. It doesn't really bother me. But I did definitely notice that like the picture
that
that I had
it
on
bothered
screen
me a
here,
little
it's
bit.
nuts. But
Bothered me a
I feel
tad
like
bit.
that's kind of similar to the way they did Kingpin in Spider-Man.
Right.
Like they made him
But
like gigantic with a tiny
he
head.
wasn't like ugly.
I mean, I think that's pretty ugly, but that's the whole another conversation.
All right.
Um,
Whatever.
there were a couple Easter eggs in
Go
this
back to your
film.
sweaty naked man on Hacksaw Ridge.
That's fine. I'll stick with that.
Shout out
There's
episode fuck, what is it?
I don't
Nine?
even know. Something like
Nine?
that.
Nine.
Ugh, I don't know. It's been a while.
Thank
Um,
fuck.
it's another movie I want to rewatch soon. But I want to jump into some Easter eggs. I really only have one main one, and
Yeah.
it is about the main creator of the Ninja Turtles themselves. Let me find his name.
Always slacking.
It was Kevin Eastman, and they talk about him. They kind of throw him in a little bit in
Do they?
the movie. Yeah, I believe it's the name of the school has his last name.
Oh,
Um,
like Eastman
and then
High
there
or whatever the
was
fuck.
yeah, and then there was one more thing earlier in the film where they mentioned him. I think it was on a billboard behind the Ninja Turtles when they were on the roof cutting the fruit,
Mm-hmm.
like Fruit Ninja. I guess that's kind of another Easter egg, Fruit Ninja.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But I did know that. But subtle Easter eggs trying to keep their original creator involved
Yeah.
in the creative
Um,
process.
I mean, I guess the Easter egg that we can talk technically is not really an Easter egg, but it's kind of funny how Jackie Chan is learning how to do
Hmm.
um martial arts from watching Bruce Lee, you
Yeah,
know.
no, that is pretty comical.
Um as we all know, Jackie Chan is a friggin' master of martial arts himself.
Hmm.
Um oh man, I love a good martial arts fight.
Yeah,
Like
these are
the
pretty
one
cool too. Like I like
the
these
yeah, the one that came to mind just now was Everything Everywhere All at Once when Ke Huy Quan is fucking ripping them apart with
with
the
his
fanny
fanny pack.
pack. Bro.
Yeah.
And I love that so much because and you see it in a lot of these martial arts fights, you see the like powder or like the dust or like and I fucking love that. Every time there's a kick or every time there's a
Hmm.
punch or like any sort of contact, you see this like dust or powder pop up and
Yeah,
I don't know why they do it,
that's
but I love it.
that's
I
old.
fucking
That's old
love it.
school. Yeah,
I got to find
that's
out
really
why
old
they do
school.
it. That's one thing. Maybe I'll ask
That's Gabe.
Williams. Maybe I'll
Gabe
ask
might
Williams.
know
Why Gabe?
because he's into martial arts. Maybe it's like an actual martial arts thing rather than a
Maybe.
film thing. But that's a
I think it might be a film thing.
most likely, but
I'm gonna
just
ask
for like
Williams.
to emphasize. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'll ask
Um,
Williams on Wednesday.
so we can move forward into some movie ratings on websites.
Yeah,
We'll start off with IMDb with a 7.3 out of 10. I feel like this is probably the most realistic one.
I
Um,
like it. I like it.
than the
Can't
rest.
complain.
Next is Metacritic with a 74, with a user score of 5.3, which is very odd to me.
Yeah, yeah. That's a
Next is Letterboxd with a 3.8 out of 5, pretty respectable score. And then rounding it off, we have Rotten Tomatoes with a whopping 96
It's
out of 100.
very, very high to me.
Really,
Not
really
like
high.
very, very high, but like, they're almost saying it's almost like a perfect movie.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. But
that's
then again, they're
unrealistic.
not, these scores aren't about like, well, at least Rotten Tomatoes score isn't like, oh, this is a 96 out of 100. Like it's a perfect movie. It's more of, it's just recommendations for Rotten Tomatoes. So
Yeah.
96% of the people recommend this movie. That's what it is.
I
Um,
agree with most of these scores. Maybe not the user score of Metacritic, but the other ones,
yeah,
I can agree with.
not a
I
huge
can get
fan.
behind them.
Yeah, not at
Up
all.
next, we're just gonna jump into the budget and the overall opening weekend and overall earnings. The budget for this film was $70 million. Opening weekend, it made $28 million. Not really getting there.
Not great.
Not even close. And then overall, it made about $118 million.
That's
Still, it seems
pretty
low.
good, but
It's
yeah,
good. Yeah, don't get me wrong. You know, props to this film. But it seems very low still. You know,
yeah. I
I mean,
mean, I'm gonna be honest. I was surprised
118
with the
million
size of the
dollars. Don't
budget.
get me wrong. I wish I had that in my fucking bank account. But
Yeah, I like to have any of those numbers on the screen there, but
yeah,
I don't know. I just feel like the budget I feel like that was pretty high. I didn't expect it to be that high. I thought this maybe be like a 40, 50. But like then
I
again,
was expecting a
it's a
higher
heavily
budget. I
animated.
was expecting a much higher budget because of the animation.
That's fair, I guess, but I don't know. I wasn't
Sleepy John.
really into the I don't know. I was just really surprised with all of these numbers, to be honest with you, because I did enjoy the film.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I
opening
was very
weekend at
surprised
20
about
is very
opening
surprising.
weekend. I was very
Yeah,
surprised at that. Yeah.
yeah, no
Um.
doubt.
Yeah. But now we're gonna jump into our favorites. John, you can go first. Favorite scene, favorite
I
quote.
I didn't really have a favorite quote, to be honest with you. I guess, but maybe it's like a favorite moment without like a saying. It's pretty much
Hmm.
when Splinter realizes that the way he's been teaching and like parenting is like the same way that Superfly was like acting,
Right.
how he had to like control and like be like in control of everything. And then he
Right.
has a couple words or like a phrase that he says, and I couldn't put my finger on it, but that's like
Yeah.
my favorite like sequence in terms of the writing.
There's
In terms of the actual scene, is when the dad saves them, or Splinter, when Splinter
in the
saves them from
beginning.
being milked.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny
I
because
thought you meant
they're so
in the
big into talking
beginning.
about milking. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess speaking of that, we'll jump right into my quote.
Hmm.
My quote is just we don't even have nipples because
Yeah, no, that was
the
really
whole
great.
thing, the whole thing was the milking. That was the like
Yeah.
one of the big kind of one of the big plot points in this
Hmm.
movie. Um I just see a tail. Um so I thought that was just pretty funny. That quote comes from Michelangelo. So it's pretty funny. My favorite scene has to be the end where you know, they bring up Shredder. They
Yeah.
set up the second movie and they set up Shredder. And I think and I think that's why I enjoyed this movie so much because it wasn't Shredder. Because it's always Shredder. It's always Shredder.
Yeah.
First movie is always Shredder. Second movie is always something else. First movie is always Shredder. And then Shredder always comes back. And then this and that. But I liked how this one was more so along the lines of, oh, there's other mutants like us, and
Hmm.
now we have to stop this mutant from taking over the world and killing everybody. And then at the end they go, bring me the Shredder. And I was like, oh, that's great. I can't wait for Shredder to show up in the
Yeah.
second movie.
I know it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah,
Um, but that's really in terms of favorites. Now we can jump into our final rankings and then wrap it all up.
yeah. Go ahead.
Uh, I don't know. For me, this I enjoyed the film, but it's not like really good or perfect at by any means, but for me, I'll start it off with um acting. I think voice acting was really good. So I'm gonna go with an 8 because the cast is really, really, really deep, and I feel like a lot
Yeah,
of these characters were really, really great. So I'll give it an 8 in terms of acting. The plot was really simple, and they stuck to it, which I enjoyed because it didn't
very
need to
simple.
be
Yeah.
really, really intense, and there didn't need to be a million different side plots. So I'll give that
Right.
an 8 as well. Rewatchability, I'll give it a 7. It was enjoyable. It was short, which makes it nice, but I feel like it's not something that I could rewatch all the time. Maybe every couple of
Right.
years. Um, and I don't know. It's just not that much to it that's like, oh, I need to see this again really soon.
Right.
But overall rating, I'm like between a 7 and an 8. So like a 7.5. I know we don't like to really
Right.
do decimals, but like I feel like I can't give it an 8, but I don't want to give it a 7. I'm like really in between because it's good. It's just nothing that was really spectacular.
Right. Right. I get you.
So
Um.
so I guess a 7.5.
All right. So for my scores, voice acting, I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm not a huge fan of Maya Rudolph's voice acting, so I'm like taking off a point for that, and then also
Hmm.
a point for April O'Neil. So I just don't, I didn't think she was good. I thought she was very
Yeah,
annoying. I
that's
just thought
fair.
she was so annoying. Um, and so voice acting, plot. I like this plot. Like I said, I really enjoyed this plot. All right. The cat's been on the screen for too
He,
long.
he's he's
You
needing
gotta
he's
introduce
trying to
us.
make me bread right here.
Yeah, he's making
He's
biscuits.
working right now, so let's leave
Okay.
him be. He's working. He's on the clock, so
Um,
I can't take him away.
um, so the plot, I really enjoyed this plot. I'm gonna give it a 9 actually because he's just making bread behind you. I can't. I can't. It's so funny. Um, so I'm gonna give it a 9 because I really liked it because it wasn't just Shredder from the start,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah,
Um, Rewatchability, I think I'm gonna go with your score with a 7. Like, it's
yeah,
short, but you can't watch it like right after another. I don't think it's a
yeah,
very, you, you know, I don't think it's a watch right after I've just seen it in theaters.
yeah. Definitely not.
Um, and then overall, I'm gonna give this a, you know, I, I'm kind of stuck with you too because like
I
I don't want to
know,
give it an 8 because I feel like that's a little too high, but I don't want to give it a 7 because I feel like that's a little too low.
I know.
So I hate doing this as well, but I'm gonna do a 7.5 as well.
Yeah, because it's really
Um,
enjoyable. It's just like
yeah,
it's that fine line of like really good to like average, and it's more
right,
average than it is really good, unfortunately.
right.
But that's just the
Um,
score that we have to go with, I guess.
yeah. I mean, that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. Hopefully it is a shorter
Hmm.
episode. Um,
No, definitely.
and Uh, the discount code for 15% off all merch at oneshotmoviepodcast.net is going to be code MUTANT. That
Yep.
is MUNTANT. Nope, that's not how you spell mutant. The
I was gonna
code
say.
is MUTANT, because I don't know how to spell.
Yeah. So,
Um,
yeah.
so please cut that out, please.
If I remember, I
I'm
will
begging
try
you.
to.
Um, so for 15% off, use promo code mutant at oneshotmoviepodcast.net at checkout. Prices and results may vary. Next episode is coming out on October 30th. Uh, we're gonna get a Halloween episode out for you guys. Um,
Yeah.
we keep fucking this up, John and I. We keep wanting to do the month of October is going to be like horror and um spooky,
Yeah,
but
well,
John
this
and
had a
I keep
spooky aspect to it
shut up.
with these ugly villains.
So John and I just keep kind of and the thing is it's like we keep losing track of time because at this point, like when we posted the one episode on the what was it, the second,
Hmm.
the Elemental. When we posted that, I was like, "Fuck, it's
Yeah,
October."
that's a real scary movie. Thanks, Pixar.
Yeah. So, um, on October 30th, we're gonna get a spooky, scary movie. I don't know
Yeah.
what yet, but stay tuned.
I can think of one. I saw one recently, but we'll talk about it off
Which
screen
one? Talk
and
to
then
me.
we'll let you guys know. Yes, yeah, that's what I
Okay.
saw. It's a
Um,
very interesting film, but maybe
Me and
if
my
that's what we do,
girlfriend
you'll
started
hear our thoughts.
watching The Nun 2 last night, and we both fell asleep
Yeah,
watching it just because we started late and we were
yeah.
just, but wasn't terrible so far.
No,
Um, I just forget the first one
I never saw the first one, so
because it came out too many years ago.
yeah.
Um, or maybe we could do it. I really like it.
I haven't seen that in a while, but that was pretty interesting too. So
In the
we'll
comments
see.
below or in the Instagram, TikTok,
Hmm.
whichever this is on, comment what movie we should do. We've already done the original Halloween, so yeah, comment what movie you think we should do for October 30th episode. Um, that's it. Make sure to stay tuned. Stay in touch with us at our socials. Once again, Instagram is One Shot Movie Podcast Official. Facebook and TikTok are One Shot Movie Podcast. Twitter and Letterbox are One Shot Movie Pod. To stay in touch with us there. Get your merch at oneshotmoviepodcast.net. We had to change URLs or domains. Such a pain in the ass, but yeah.
Yeah,
Um, Anything else you need to add?
I don't think so. If you guys did enjoy the episode, let us know what your favorite part of the episode was in the comment section down below. And if you are listening on a streaming platform, if you could leave us a review and leave us a star rating, we would really help out the show.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And that's a wrap.